We all love creepypastas. Those modern takes on the campfire story, where we all sit down and hear chilling tales. And one creepypasta that always seems to thrive are the lost episodes. Stories of classic cartoon shows having deep and disturbing episodes that were locked away from the studio, hopefully to never see the light of day, but in some way or another, they do. From Squidward's suicide, to Dale's origin, to the Crybaby Lane. Oh wait, no, Crybaby Lane was real, but whatever. The version of Crybaby Lane that they talk about in the creepypastas are usually not what, you were expecting. The actual Crybaby Lane is just kind of a meh movie, but whatever. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite creepypasta, which, though is not about a cartoon show, does play with the concept of, its origin. That being lost tapes. Now, before I talk about lost tapes itself, I should talk about the origin of Slime Beast. Now, Slime Beast was founded by Christopher Howard Wolf, who used to be an independent game developer for a while, but as time went on, his career shifted to doing creepypastas on his website, Slime Beast. They've done a plethora of stories such as Funny Mouth, Whimsy Woods, Abandoned by Disney, and obviously Lost Episodes, or Lost Tapes as some people call it. Now, Lost Tapes is about two childhood friends, Sid and our unnamed narrator. And as the story goes on, the narrator talks about his friendship with Sid and how it started off as something completely innocent to something that became far more twisted and honestly tragic. It all began back in the 80s where the boys meet. When he meets Sid, he sees that Sid has a deep fascination with tapes. He always seems to take, classic movies and TV shows and cut the tapes and change it in ways. At first, he's taking away the scary elements, since as a child he watched Old Yeller and was so traumatized by its dark ending that he decided to take the tape and change it up where it made it look like Old Yeller was okay at the end. His friend was surprisingly just awe-inspired by what he did, and actually even considers that maybe they can make a profit off of this. And they do. They actually start a small business where they take tapes and they alter them, selling them to the public. Granted, they don't really do too much, and hell, even the friend starts to be tempted to do boner jams, but obviously he ends up never going for that. As time went on, though, Sid's obsession with doing this got more and more disturbing. He focuses more on just making different takes of these stories, and nowadays started going for darker elements. He started to embrace what he used to fear, and his friend unfortunately abandons him. He doesn't really seem to understand and just walks out on him. As time goes on, the narrator talks about how he would go through the internet and see that there were stories of these lost tapes, and he believed that Sid was still making these, despite the fact that, these shows that they're talking about were made years ago, but they were all done in his style. So, out of curiosity, he goes back to Sid's old home and visits his old friend. I won't spoil what happens after the story, because I highly recommend reading this. This is probably my all-time favorite creepypasta. With one simple reason, that is, it is real. It makes you, the way it's written and how much detail they put in here, you feel like you're this main character. You feel like you're the narrator here. And when it comes to the narrator himself as a person, they do write him as realistic. When you're a kid, you're going to do stupid stuff, and you might not catch certain things. The narrator even admits that as he looks back, he thinks that there might have been something up with Sid, that Sid might have had either some sort of mental disorder or a learning disability, something that wasn't checked, and kind of thinks that he should have tried harder to help his friend. As for Sid as a character, we don't get to know much about Sid since most of it's told in the narrator's perspective. We do get like one scene where we get to hear how Sid talks, but yeah, it's not much. It's mostly showing that he's really just focused more on his work and really doesn't care about anyone around him. And yeah, it's a really good creepypasta story. And if you want to check it out, we'll put a link below to Slime Beast's website so you could actually read the story for yourself. There's a lot of stuff I left out because, yeah, it's an amazing tale. And yeah. Now, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and hell, while the credits roll, why don't I just show you a few of my other favorite creepypasta stories?